Welcome back to Garbage Time. Got a jam-packed episode. We're going to be talking about the Suns trade for Nick Richards. We're going to be talking about the Bulls and their odd state. The Pelicans continue to suck. Sixers on a six-game losing streak. Teams that are trying to capture the flag, tanking, etc. But let's start with Nick Richards. Dan, how do you feel about Suns trading Josh Okogie and I think 2 seconds net for the center from the Hornets?
I think it's 1 second net. I think we sent two. They gave us one.
Okay, okay.
I think it doesn't matter at all. Um, I think I think it was stupid because we gave up 2 seconds. I'd rather have kept the draft picks and Okogie rather than have Nick Richards. Sure, he had a great first game. Guess what? He played tonight and put up 4, 1, and 4 in 22 minutes.
Mm.
He's
Sounds
not
like a Hornets center.
That was just a move to make a move. It was
Yeah.
stupid, and we lost draft capital for that. Like, what were we thinking? Like, stupid move in my eyes.
But I think we need some centers that aren't Nurk and Plumlee. I feel like in a
Sure.
vacuum he's fine, but I also think he looked better than he is because he was on the Hornets.
I mean, like, sure, we need teams, but need centers, but is like now the time to get him? And is that the guy we really need? Like, I'm fine giving up draft capital and like a half decent player in a Kogi for someone legit, but dude, come on, Nick Richards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, the dude. So this is what his fourth year in the league, peaked at 9.7 points per game.
But you don't need a crazy score. You just need a guy who can rebound and know his place. You don't. I mean, we were talking about this. Nurk always tries to be that guy and score every time he has the ball. We just need guys to get it to KD and Buck.
No, that's super fair. I mean, Plumlee in his last few seasons has averaged 9.3, 8.9, 7.7 rebounds. Nick Richards has never done more than eight.
That stuff.
I mean, like we just don't need it.
Cam,
It was
outsider's perspective, how do you feel about it?
I feel similarly. I think it tells me they're not done or that they think they're not done. I don't know what
Yeah,
else they can
definitely.
do. They clearly are more confident that they're going to do something with Beal or that something else is going to go down because it doesn't make sense to give up draft capital if you're not, like, if you just keep it like this, the team is not good enough.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of Nick Richards, I think part of it also is the inverse Ben, like freeing up Mark Williams. Ben had both of these guys on his fantasy team at the beginning of the year, dropped
Yep,
both, gave up on both of them, and then both of them came back immediately and are now good.
that's right.
So Mark Williams actually has been really good since this transaction.
Sick.
He's averaging like ridiculous numbers of fantasy points
Yeah.
because he's getting minutes for the first time in his career after being behind Nick Richards. In terms of the Suns, it's all about effort, though. Getting back to that, like Plumlee, I know the statistics are there and Nurkic too, but watching the games, those guys don't box out. They don't like
Yeah.
set good screens. They're not like high effort guys, and you need those guys around KD and Book,
Mm-hmm.
or else
Mm-hmm.
like the team is going to get offensive rebounds all day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why even Oso Ighodaro, like a second round pick, was playing 25 minutes a game before
He
the trade.
tries. He tries hard.
You need effort, and I don't know if Nick Richards is that guy. I would never trust someone coming out of the Hornets organization as your effort player, but like maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty depressing for the Suns.
I would be thrilled if I was a Hornets fan with this trade.
I guess.
I mean, as thrilled as you
I
can
don't
be
know.
about like
I don't. I don't. I
About
don't.
being a Hornets fan, like you're.
yeah, I mean, you're already in the pits, so this is a definitely a net positive for them.
So Kyle's on a cruise right now. That's why he's not on the pod. If he were here, he would agree with me that seconds are worth essentially nothing. Like you could get lucky maybe every 4 years and get like a Malcolm Brogdon, a Draymond, etc. But they're really rarely worth a lot. So I'm fine with shipping those out. Okogie just wasn't fitting with the team.
But I feel like
How it was structured.
they're a trade asset, like more than
Yeah,
anything
that's a
else.
good
So
point.
like
That's a good
trading
point.
two for one, like
That must have been the best thing we could have gotten, honestly. Like
which
James Jones is not an idiot.
sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Okay, let's talk about the East. Let's talk about the Bulls. The Bulls on a 5 game losing streak. They're 10th in the East, which is a very uncompetitive East. And this is like a team that should be okay. They have Levine, they have Vucevic, they traded for Josh Giddey, they have Kobe White, they have Patrick Williams. So this team just seems like in the worst position perpetually in the association. Cam, what moves do you think they need to make to like get them into a contender spot again?
They need to blow it up. I don't think there's any chance. They like Levine at this point in his career and Vucevic is not going to be enough of a core. You could keep Kobe White, you could keep Giddey around. They definitely shouldn't do the trade that we saw on Twitter, trading Patrick Williams for Nurkic. That
I don't know,
should,
man. I don't know. They might be a good idea.
yeah, it was. No, I think they got to blow it up. I don't think they have enough with this core to do anything, and they're in the worst spot you could possibly be in the association.
Yeah,
they're right on the cusp
worst
of playoffs.
Spot. Worst spot.
They're not going to get good draft picks.
And they've been this same position for years. It's crazy.
Totally. Not good.
They just need to get rid of Levine and Vooch. Like that's all they like to blow it up. That's all they need to do because the rest of this roster, I'm looking at it right now, perfect tanking team. You've got young guys, get them a lot of minutes and experience and playing time. Get some draft capital for Levine and Vooch.
It's crazy that Patrick Williams is like the one guy reported to be on the trading block because like he to me is the perfect glue guy for a championship contender. Like obviously he's not the sexiest player in the world, he's not like he's not going to be a star ever, but he like fills that almost Aaron Gordon role where he just does a lot of things. He can guard across positions. So I feel like they're just focused on the wrong things.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, like at his best, he is a 39% three-point shooter that can defend across probably a 2-3-4.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Any championship team should be drooling over this guy, and I think the Bulls should take advantage of that, get some draft assets for him, and then find a way to trade either Levine or Vooch.
Okay. The Pelicans also suck. They are 11 and 32, 14th in the West. They have won 3 games in a row, but this is a team with DeJounte Murray, Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones. Like, I know they've had a lot of injuries, but this is like just straight up depressing, man. They like they have everything they need to be successful and they still suck. Cam, what do you think their issue is?
Not enough Brandon Boston. I think that'll fix it. They just need to play him more, and then they'll definitely win. No, I mean it's all Zion. It's always been Zion with them. Like Zion, they built assuming Zion would be the trends, like the amazing player that he could be, and he just hasn't been that. He can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
He didn't progress beyond what we saw those initial flashes, and that just kills you because if you build around a guy like that and you're keeping everyone else around and you just have the complementary pieces. McCollum is a fraud. He's not a star. He's a complementary piece.
He's
DeJounte Murray. The Hawks are better now without DeJounte Murray. Like we all know how that experiment went. Ingram's fine. Like I don't want to hate on Ingram too much, but like he's not a number one option.
He's been injured.
Yeah. And it's just that so it's not surprising that they've just built a team around this one superstar player who's going to make a difference, and then that guy didn't show up. That's what happens.
But like, I mean, people thought DeJounte was that guy. People thought, I mean, again, Ingram. Like they have a lot of guys who can be a decent number 1 or number 2. They have like a lot of number 2 guys, and they still can't make it work. Dan, why do you think that doesn't work?
I mean, I think because of how drastic a tier 1 versus like a tier number 1 option is in the NBA versus a number 2.
Yeah.
Like if you have a bunch of guys that are more than happy to defer or facilitate and no guy that can go out there on a consistent basis and score and like take over a basketball game, then like you're not going to get anywhere. I think the good news for the Pelicans is they clearly don't have to do anything more to tank. They're already doing a great job of
Yeah.
it. So they really don't
Yeah.
need to do a bunch of roster moves. I mean, next year CJ is going to be on an expiring contract, which will be attractive as a trade asset. They'll probably be involved as a third team in a trade. He's got a $30 million contract. And then you have a bunch of other guys that are going to be on vet minimums like Daniel Tice, Javante Green. And so from there, you can kind of either make some moves or really let Trey Murphy or Herb Jones kind of take over. They're also high on Yves Missy for some reason. He's
Yeah.
solid.
He's
So,
like, I've seen him in top 3 in Rookie of the Year candidacy ranking.
yeah, I
It's a
mean,
rough
he's
spot.
definitely not having a bad season at all. I mean, he's putting up 9 and 8.
But
Like,
it's like
that's
it's a weak rookie class.
no, he's never going to be a top three guy on a playoff team. So,
But Ben, I've got a question for you. If you
Sure.
could name the top two players on the Pelicans roster today in value over replacement player this season, and that includes, so it's cumulative. So like if you played more, it's helpful. So it's not Zion, even though he's been the best in the 10 games he's played. Who are
So
the
you have to
top
play
two?
a lot.
Well, I mean,
It's
playing more
cumulative.
helps. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cumulative.
Let's go Eve Missy and Herb Jones.
E. Missy is negative. He's one of the worst. Herb
yikes.
Jones also negative, one of the
Oh, wow.
worst. The top two are Trey Murphy with zero point 0.8
Okay.
for, which is the highest, and Alvarado in 20 games with
Mm,
0.3 for.
yeah. I mean, like this is just sad because like those guys are solid, but those are role players, you know? It's
Yeah.
like they have just like a ton of role players. And like Dan said, Zion is never healthy. I just don't think like Cooper Flag is gonna move the needle for them. I think
No.
they like need to blow it up more than the Bulls do. It's
Lord
like
knows he doesn't need to go to New Orleans to get fat.
Oh God, yeah.
Zion is cooked. I think honestly, just trade Bi too.
I mean, they've got 7 guys that have 3 years or less of experience. Like, it is a
Yeah,
young roster. Or,
Yeah.
sorry, they have 11 guys that are at that level of
yeah,
experience.
yeah,
You don't need to do much to continue the tankathon. Like, gather some
yeah,
assets, use this time
yeah.
up wisely.
I agree.
No, and the city of New Orleans is not clamoring for a championship.
No, it's true. It's true. Okay, 76ers, they're on a 6-game losing streak. They are 27th in points per game, 30th in rebounds per game, and 30th in assists per game. They are looking real bad. Embiid never plays. They lost to Bucks, Pacers, Knicks, Thunder, Magic, Pelicans. So aside from the Pelicans, that is a tough schedule, but still, that's rough. Cam, what do you think Sixers need to do? Turn it around.
Yeah, I don't know what they can do. I mean, Embiid, it's so frustrating because, as you guys know, I think Embiid at his best is top five, maybe top three player ever in the NBA.
Sure.
When he's at his absolute best, playing healthy, he's unstoppable.
Yeah.
I mean, this year has just been incredibly frustrating, and it's not even the same injury. It's back and forth, all sorts of different things. I mean, his body's just falling apart. Um,
Yeah.
PG, I think we all knew coming in it was a risk, but
Yeah.
I think some of us more than others were on top of that one. I know we got some PG fans on the pod, but there's not much they can do. I mean, similarly, like they're kind of tanking already just based on where they are. The East is rough. Like the East is
Yeah.
so bad that they could still, even with a 6-game losing streak, theoretically get into the playoffs if Embiid is
Yeah.
able to get healthy by the end of the month, which is wild given how horrible their season has been. But that's just the truth. So again, it really depends what's going on with Embiid. And if they still are losing a month from now, you can bet that they're going to shut him down. They're not going to play him or PG, and they're going to take that pick
Even if
because that's what they're
Embiid
going to
is
do.
healthy, do you think that they even win the conference finals?
Conference finals. Oh God, no. I mean, I think they could win the first round if Embiid's healthy.
That's dark. Yeah.
I mean, the Celtics and Cavs are pretty good. You know, the Knicks are a tough matchup. Like it's And especially if you haven't played with the team together, I think what they're really banking on is that he is healthy for the season. He gets the reps with Paul George. They get the veteran guys sorted out. They have a good rotation, and they get experience going into the playoffs. Even if they come back, like Embiid and George have played like 3 games together all year. What they're not gonna be able to take out a Knicks or a Cavs in the second round. There's no way.
So do you trade Embiid ever? I don't know if you can.
You can.
No,
You can.
So you just ride or die with Embiid. Mostly die.
they have to.
Yeah,
Who's
he's
gonna
the
take
face
that
of the
on?
franchise. He's an MVP. No, yeah, no one wants that shit. I mean,
The Pelicans might, but
I think he could like I just don't think Embiid's the kind of guy who would like force his way out. Like I think he would just rather have the steady paycheck, be the face of the franchise. So I think they're just kind of doomed until it reaches like a real breaking point. But I feel like the in like his injuries and his time away kind of insulates him from any drama. He's like, "Oh, I haven't been healthy. Oh, we haven't reached our potential because I've had injuries." And it's like, okay, but that's kind of the reason why you haven't reached your potential.
Yeah. I mean, it's a funny look back. I mean, we can't fully look back, but we're almost at the point where we can look back on the process era as a whole.
Yeah,
And that crazy experiment with Ben Simmons, Markel Fultz,
yeah.
you know, whoever the heck else is in those draft picks, Tobias Harris, the ghost of Jimmy Butler,
Nerlens Noel, Jaleel Okafor.
Khalil Okafor. Yeah, sure, sure. I mean, just crazy to see how you could draft, someone who's an MVP level talent to over the course of a 4 year span average over 30 points a game. You have
Mhm.
multiple all stars. You're competitive for 8 years, and you win nothing. You don't even
Yeah,
reach the finals.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I don't even. Yeah, yeah. It's crazy. Okay. Speaking of teams that suck, let's talk about the teams that are capturing the flag, going for Cooper flag tanking. I'd say it's like Blazers, Wizards, Raptors, Jazz, maybe even Pelicans at this point. Um, I think Spurs just suck. I don't think they're even trying to tank. Uh, so Dan, what do you think about these teams? Do you think Cooper Flag will move the needle for them?
I mean, for
Or the
I
other
think for
guy, Amari Bailey, Ace Bailey, Ace
Ace
Bailey.
Bailey,
Ace
yeah.
Bailey.
I mean, I'm looking at these teams right now. I think the Wizards are just simply helpless.
It's really bad.
Um,
It's really bad.
like that's the thing that sucks, especially in this draft for the Wizards. Like they don't necessarily need another big, which Ace Bailey and
Coop.
and Mr. Flag both are long, athletic wings, similar to Alex Sarr. Um, I think they just need more time to mature as that team. So I'd hate to see Flag or Bailey go there. I bet you if the Wizards get the number one pick, they're going to take Mr. Harper, also out of Rutgers, as like a really strong like two
Hmm.
guard.
Okay.
I would love to, actually, I don't even know. I wouldn't mind Flag at Portland. I think that could actually be a needle
Yeah.
mover for them a little bit. Seeing him alongside another juggernaut in Tumani Kamara, I think would be awesome. So yeah, I don't know. I want him to go to Portland. I think he'd be a terrible fit on the Jazz. They do not need another lengthy white guy to be spacing the floor.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and Lord knows, the Pelicans are a train wreck.
I think Portland is in the best position right now for Flag. I agree with that. Like they have Shaden Sharp, who's really interesting. Anthony can kind of be your vet at the point that like Flag is good. Scoot, who knows if he's going to be good? But
He's
then
been
you have
kind of hooping recently.
yeah, and then you have Kling Kong, who's good. You have you can like trade Robert Williams. You could trade Aiden if you needed to, and get some other good pieces. I feel like those guys are all just like young and promising, and they're like in the best spot to like rebuild where everyone's on the same timeline. You know,
Yeah.
and
I
I
mean, their
think that's
oldest player is
essential.
Jeremy Grant. Like, that's
Right,
nuts.
right.
Yeah.
Something like the Pelicans, they're all at like different ages and different timelines and different like ceilings, but I feel like the Blazers match up well. Cam, who do you think should get Flag or Bailey?
God, anyone but the Pelicans. That's the only thing. His career, either of their careers would just go to die on that team, and I don't want to see it for either of them. I just think it's also interesting looking at the difference between the East and the West. Like Portland is a team that's clearly young and rebuilding. giving Scoot a lot of minutes and Shaden and Klingon and all those guys. Portland has 14 wins. Like Charlotte and Toronto are worse in the
Yeah.
East.
Yeah.
And those, like, I mean, you would think with how much people are talking about LaMelo and Scotty that like
Yeah.
those would be higher up teams, but it's just not the case. I agree with you. I think Portland is like the ideal situation for a Cooper Flag to go into where he could maybe not be the number one option. There's other guys on that team who could make their own shot. He can play multiple positions, kind of figure out where he goes. I think if you're in the Wizards' shoes, the Wizards are really the only team that I think can just fully take based on talent because they have
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
essentially. Like they're the earliest in the
The
rebuilding
wall.
process. I guess the Jazz too, kind of, but less so. And then all these other teams, it might go down to who's going to fit with their existing pieces, given how close those guys are at the top.
The Raptors are weird because they do have a lot of talent. Honestly, I think it's just all really raw talent. Like Scotty is great. Grady Dick is having an incredible sophomore season. Quickly is interesting. RJ Barrett can put on a good performance, but it's just like it really just feels like an AAU team, at the highest level. Like they just feel like little kids, that can't perform in like an adult league.
Whereas the Hornets are like a high school, like a public high school team with
Yeah,
LaMelo
literally.
being the head
Yeah,
cheerleader.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
Miles Bridges on probation, suspended from school.
Yikes! All right. Any other takes? Capture the flag teams.
Kyle would like to say the Warriors are also a capture the flag team. That's all.
Yep. Yep. Kyle says Warriors suck. They're currently out of the play-in, 21-21.
And they lost by 40 today at home.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back with our locks. Welcome back. We got our betting locks. I gotta go first because I lost last week, and I think I'm 1-9, 1-10.
1-10. First 1 to 10 losses. Congratulations.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Really good stuff. Okay. I really don't love the slate tomorrow. Nothing was speaking to me, but maybe that's a good thing. My heart is telling me Magic -3 at the Raptors. Suggs is out, but Paolo's playing. Obviously, Raptors are capturing the flag. I think Magic still have something to prove. They play hard. I don't like that it's away, but I'm going Magic -3. And then I think who is next? Who lost?
I mean, you can just say
Dan
Kyle's
is
because he
next.
already put his in.
Yeah, you can say Kyle's and then Dan's next.
What was Kyle's?
Kyle's is Wizards -14.5. And he has not learned to not go against the Wizards, but he also hates the Lakers. So that one
It's
is
the
in for
perfect
him.
storm.
Exactly.
That's an interesting one. Yeah.
Interesting is a word for sure.
Yeah. Wizards can be kind of sneaky. I think I did an alt spread for them and they cashed it against the Suns. Because they can come back.
Suck.
Or maybe the Suns just suck.
10 losses in a row, a differential on the year of 14.2 per game. Like it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Good luck to Kyle.
Good luck.
Good luck, Kyle. I'm hoping for the best with this one. I am going Nuggets, Sixers under 228.5. Because both of those teams, I feel like, are just not going to put up a lot of points.
Okay. I like that.
Aaron Gordon's back. He's clamps. I like it. And I'm last because I was the only one who won last week, trying to get back to 500. So Kyle's not the only one there. I'm going to do something pretty spooky. I'm going the same game as Ben, the Raptors and Magic. I'm not going to fade Ben. That's too easy. There's a bet on DraftKings for race to 30 points in the first quarter. And my bet at +125 is that neither of them get 30 points in the first quarter. The Magic are clamps.
I actually like that.
Ben, it's +125 too. Both of them, both the teams, Magic are clamps. Ben mentioned that in his thing. Both of the teams, not the best on the offensive end. Orlando played on Saturday and is coming up. It's a big travel day. Raptors are capturing the flag. They're
You say
very
you say
inconsistent.
neither of them get to 30 in the first quarter.
Neither get to 30
Oh,
in the
that's
first
great.
quarter.
That's great.
Yeah, at plus 125.
Oh, that's an easy
That's
lock.
my
Fuck.
random lock for
I
the
wish
week.
I saw that one.
You gotta just dig
Uh
deep in the DraftKings, man. You'll find
yeah,
some fun stuff.
that's good. That's good stuff. Okay, those are our locks. We'll be back with
Well,
some
something special.
something special. Card reveal and a game.
All right, welcome back. So recently Ben was in town. He was doing some thrift shopping, and he purchased two 1990-1991 NBA hoops basketball card packs.
Yep.
There are 15 cards per pack, and this says that we get a free 1990 All Rookie Team card.
Wow. Just open
Rookies-
one. Just open one.
Rookies, okay, yeah. Rookies this year included Derek Coleman as the #1 overall pick,
Wow.
Gary Payton, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, Dennis
Sure.
Scott,
Dennis.
and other greats such as D. Brown, but not the good D. Brown, and Tony Kukoc. So, let's
Oh,
take a look
fuck
here.
yeah.
It's
We do
huge.
also have Kevin Pritchard. Shout out.
All right, let's see what we got.
All right, I'm going to open this up. This draft also featured Arizona legend Judd Buechler, I believe is his
This
last
is
name.
gonna suck. That draft class is horrible.
So our first card of the pack is Jim Peterson, forward center for the Golden State Warriors.
That's
Fuck
not a
yeah.
real dude.
Mr.
Yes.
James Richard Peterson, 6'10", 235 out of Minnesota, had his best season in Houston, averaging 11 points per game.
Probably worth a rack.
Yeah, this is going to take us really far.
Okay.
Our second one is going to be Christian Welp.
There's no way his name is Welp.
Christian Ansgar Welp, 7-footer
Welp.
out of Washington.
Welp.
Sure. Sure.
Would you believe me if I told you that he peaked at 4.8 points per game his rookie season?
This is bleak.
Scored 20 a game at Washington, though, so that's pretty cool.
Okay.
So we have two Warriors so far. Good thing Kyle's not here.
Just reveal 5. Let's reveal 5.
Come on.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Next,
I'm not gonna listen to 15.
Okay, I'll make them quicker then. Next one we have is Larry Brown, the coach.
Oh,
Sure.
sure.
Got the Spurs. Next, we have another coach, Richie Adubato, for the Mavericks.
This sucks so bad.
Next, we have an NBA All-Star card, some
Oh.
guy named Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Oh,
let's go.
oh, that dude.
That's pretty sick.
That's huge.
That's actually sick.
That's a cool card.
And then,
Next, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with gas.
oh,
We have known NBA three-point contest participant Craig Hodges.
oh,
Yo,
let's go.
that's huge.
That's sick.
That's actually
On the
sick.
Bulls too. That's awesome.
Yeah. We have known Sacramento King Danny Ainge.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's pretty clean.
King's Ainge.
Oh man, the hits keep coming. Known composer John Williams, apparently also a center for the Cavaliers at one point.
Crazy.
Another King, but also more notoriously Rocket, Ralph Sampson.
Oh, that's sick. Actually,
That's a real
Yeah.
NBA player.
that actually is sick.
Everyone's favorite foreigner. Shout out Holland, Rick Smits.
Oh, this is actually a good
Nice.
pack. This is a good pack.
And then the NBA single game assist leader, Scott Skiles.
Shit. Wait,
It's a fundamental
that's
player.
actually a good pick. That's actually a good pack. Hell yeah.
And wow, it keeps getting better.
Give me
Just a big old white boy, Joe Klein.
Oh, that big body.
Big body. 7 foot, 271. 6 overall pick from Sacramento.
Wow. A lot of kings.
Shout out 916.
Known hoop grid legend, Chuck Person.
Oh, sure. Chuck
Yeah.
Person, baby. Gotta give that
And
to
then
Cam.
we have last two players. Not a city in California, but still pretty legit. John Stockton.
Hey, I'm finna bass on his
Hopefully
body.
don't
I'm John
ditch that thing.
Stockton.
And finally, we have his defensive player of the year card,
Oh,
Dennis Rodman.
wow. One of the greatest
Got a
Pistons of
nice
all
little
Yeah.
patch on his
time. Pistons.
Ben's greatest pick in draft history.
Dennis Rodman.
That's
Look
actually a
at
good
that.
pack. That's a good pack. Started
It's a
out
great pick.
very weak, but
Yeah.
it ended well.
Ben, do you know how much Dennis Rodman averaged throughout his college career at Southeastern Oklahoma?
I'm gonna say 16.
He averaged 25 and a half points a game.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Dennis Rodman.
Goat.
Shout out.
Wow, good pack. Let's sell them all for millions. And
Yeah. I'll send these off to PSA for grading.
all right, let's get to the game.
I'm so scared for this.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got some devious thoughts on the game. Should I bring it in and give the intro?
Yeah.
All right, let me get my notes out. And we're back with a game. My internet is on this week. I did not disappear randomly in the middle of the episode. Kyle is gone, so I will be hosting this week. And we've got a special opportunity given Ben and Dan are here, and they're both Suns fans. So we started the episode talking about a Suns center, Nick
uh-oh.
Richards, of course. We're going to
Okay.
end the episode naming the last 15 centers on the Suns who were the most commonly used center in their lineup over the last number of years. So to give you guys a little help on that, the last year that's out of this list, I'll give you their whole starting lineup from that year. So this is all of the starting centers on the Suns since 1994-95. And that year, they started their front court. They didn't really have a center. Their front court was Wesley Person, not Chuck Person, who we just got in the pack. AC Green and Charles Barkley were their three front court players. Thunder Dan.
So we're doing
also
it every season after that?
Every season after that. So there's 15 guys. Obviously, there's some overlap. Some of the guys did multiple years. This is the center who played the most, was used in the most common lineup, starting lineup over the year.
Okay.
So it's not
Okay.
like starting like first game of the season or anything like that. It's whoever played the most games at center.
It's the last 25.
15.
Last 15.
Okay.
And so whoever gets to 8 will be the winner.
Okay.
And we'll let Ben go first.
Marcin Gortat.
Marcin Gortat is on the list. He is the 6th most recent of the players on the list.
That's an
Okay.
interesting first pick. I'm going to go DeAndre Ayton.
He is the 2nd most recent, and it is 1-1.
Shaq.
Shaq is the 9th most recent for Ben, 2-1.
Nurk.
Nurk is the most recent. This will probably be his
What?
last year. Yeah.
Amari.
Amari is here. He's 10th because he wasn't a starting center after Shaq. He was starting at center a couple years before then.
Right.
Obviously played mostly at power forward, but he does qualify. So 3-2.
I'm going to go with Jake Voshkel.
It's a great pull. Jake Voshkel is the 12th most recent.
Kurt
And
Thomas.
that'll tie it up at 3. Kurt is the 11th most recent. 4-3.
I always forget how to say his last name, Sakalidis or
Jake
Saladikis?
Sakalidis is 13th. That is an insane pull.
Can I get Robin
Necessarily.
Lopez?
Dang.
You also can get Robin Lopez for sure. Robin Lopez is the 7th most recent. So you
So
guys
we
are tied
have 1, 2.
1, 2, 6, 7, and then 9 through 13. So you need 3 through 5, 8, and then 14 and 15, and you're tied 4-4.
I'm trying to think
Oh, I know.
which
Or
one
no,
of these
5-4.
two
5-4.
which one of these two guys
I know a
qualifies.
fucker. I know a fucker too.
Is this going to be Marquise Chris?
Oh no, you got me.
There's no Marquise Chris on here. He was
Oh,
never
is he
he
power
never
forward?
started the well, I don't think he was. Let me look at the whole starting things. I don't even know if he started. He was power forward for 16, 17, and 17, 18. He was listed.
Oh, can
Forgot
I
if
get
he
Alex
qualified as
Len?
power-
Alex
No.
Len?
Yeah.
Ben can get Alex Len. He is the 4th most recent. And that'll
He's-
put Ben in a 6-4 lead.
4th. You said Robin Lopez. We've done Marcin Gortat.
Yeah,
Kurt
so you need someone
Thomas.
between Aiton and Len, and you need
I don't
someone
know if
between
this
Len and
guy was a
Bertan.
center.
Aiton and Len. Who was between those two guys? I feel like we had some randos. Um, Man, between Aiton and Len, I'm trying to think. Those were dark days.
Ben's got some names, I could tell.
Obviously.
I
I
mean, you
mean,
I
could
this
go
just
isn't.
old.
I just saw a funny video today with some centers.
Dang. Okay, you're.
But I don't know if one guy is a forward or a center.
I know. I keep thinking of guys that I'm pretty sure are power forwards.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, that being said, is Bender listed as a center, and that's the guy I'm thinking of that'll be there.
There is no Dragon Bender. Dragon Bender,
Interesting.
I
Let
don't
me
even, is
get
he on the list at all? Let me see. He was never the most common starter for
Because
any
I don't
season
think
of the
he
Suns.
had to have been listed as something else.
let me get Miles Plumley.
Miles Plumlee is fifth.
Yep.
Ben
Okay,
is
No doubt.
absolutely
Ben's
cooking.
cooking.
No
Yeah, he's
doubt.
7-4, so he's 1 away from clinching the win.
Let me see Tyson Chandler.
You get Tyson Chandler in the three, so
Oh, that's
that'll,
good.
That's the three.
yeah,
Okay.
that's the three. So you guys got 1 through 7. You just need 8, 14, and 15. We've got 7, 5 to Ben's pick.
Oh, Channing Frye.
Channing Frye is on the list. That's 8 to Ben.
Dub.
So Ben wins.
Dang.
But if you guys, for extra credit, know either of the last law, the two, 14 and 15, who could they be?
14
I
and
mean,
15.
is it Bo Outlaw?
Not Bo Outlaw. Got
Travis Outlaw?
anyone? Also not Travis Outlaw. This is older than
Travis
Sakalitis.
Scott?
In between Sakalitis and like the 94 season. So who was late 90s into 2000, who was the
Oh,
starting
late
center for the Suns.
90s?
Older than Sakalitis. Sakalitis was like 2001, I think.
And this is a
Wow.
guy that we for sure know.
These are two guys, and you know both of them for sure. I think both of them have
Oh,
been used
okay.
in grid.
I've got two guesses.
Who you got?
I've got Hot Rod Williams,
Yep.
and I'm gonna
Easily.
go with someone that Ben's gonna be mad he didn't get, Luke Longlegs.
You got both of them.
That's a
Let's go.
duty.
That's
Hell
huge.
yeah. That's sick.
Dang, I just totally missed on Chandler early, and otherwise, dang, that sucks.
Yeah, that's a waste of a Sakalitis and a Vashkel pull. Kind of
I
crazy.
know. I have the early 2000s drilled. I just forgot that Hot
That was
Rod
good
was
though.
going into the
You got
90s.
stuck in the Marquise black hole.
I know the
Marquise
15
Dragon
to
Bender black hole.
18
Yeah.
darkness.
Dark times. Dark times for sure.
Gosh, that was the worst.
That was a duty. Great game. Great game. It's another episode of Garbage Time. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week with Kyle back, hopefully. He's not washed.